Big O. It's showtime.
Our time has finally come. This is a big break. We will overcome. We will overtake. Don't try to stop us now. We've waited way too long. It's finally showtime. Let's get it on. It's showtime. Nothing but go time. Here we go. Let's go. It's showtime. It's showtime.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to What the Hell Happened to Them? A title fight is brewing. That's right, this season, Eddie Murphy versus Jim Carrey. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and joining me on the line is some Hollywood dickhead, Joe Vekeman.
Okay. All right. Not yet. I'm not a Hollywood dickhead yet.
And on the audio boards is Lev Van Rensselaer, reminding me to remind you that you can email the cast at whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com. And our sponsor this week is Racuna Matata. Having rodent problems? Call the pest experts at Racuna Matata. All right, Joe, what movie are we doing this week?
We just gotta we gotta talk about the pun expert here. This guy should get paid. Whoever's our ad guy.
Well, that's a Lev.
All right,
Classic right there.
We watched 2002's Forgotten for a Reason, Showtime.
All right, what happens in the movie Showtime? Not the network Showtime.
Yeah.
What happens in the movie Showtime, Joe?
I'm gonna give it to you in 1 second, baby.
X is gonna give it to me.
You just gotta be a little patient.
I'm tired to know it's too much to ask for you to come prepared.
A
That's all.
spoof of buddy cop movies where two very different cops are forced to team up on a new reality-based television cop show while tracking down the manufacturer and distributor of an illegally made semi-automatic firearm. Sounds convoluted.
Yep.
Yep.
So
this movie...
Yeah.
Yep.
No, you say your thing.
Oh, I'm done.
You were just gonna say this movie ... So what were you gonna say?
This movie is lame, bad.
Yeah, you said that too after last week's show to prep me for it, and again I was like, fine, like not great, but not reviled. I didn't hate my time watching it.
I think you're only saying that because this movie is like a really crisp 88 minutes again. It's where Eddie's kind of getting away with murder right now. He's like,
they certainly the credits have outtakes from scenes that weren't even in the movie, so clearly a lot of editing and tinkering was done.
Some fat was trimmed.
This might have been a 2-hour movie, and they were like, all right, this isn't testing well.
Could have been a 2-hour, 10-minute movie, like our great Midnight Run with De Niro.
Yeah, but like that, I was okay. I was fine with that going on for that long.
Course.
That movie's fun. This movie, not fun, but not unwatchable. Having watched a lot of Tubi trash, I was expecting something just all around bad. It just was like, wasn't even an offensive comedy. It just was a non-comedy, a non-medy.
Yeah, there's not many jokes in this.
I mean, theoretically there are jokes that just don't come off the page very well. In the new millennium, does Murphy only play actors and donkeys? It's like this, Bowfinger.
No, I'm seeing one right now where I think he plays an actor playing a spy. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
A little Mission Impossible. I forgot about that one.
He's got I Spy coming up.
Oh, that's the one I'm thinking of.
This same year,
Yeah.
after Pluto Nash, we have I Spy.
With Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one I'm thinking
a
of.
Betty Thomas directing effort. So we know we're in for a real steaming turd. Fucking hell.
You know, Will Smith was an executive producer on this.
No way. On this? Showtime?
I don't know if it's that Will Smith, but it certainly is a Will Smith.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty common name.
Yeah, that's sort of the problem with that name.
It wasn't like Will Smith the 45th or something?
I just feel like if it's, was this 2001, this movie, or 2002?
2002.
If it's 2002 and my name's Will Smith and I'm in Hollywood, I'm changing it to William Smith or something different. Will A. Smith.
I'm changing it to Bill Smith.
Yeah, Bill Smith. Like you're not competing with the new Will Smith on the block, so it's time to move on.
Let's see here. What can I talk about with this movie?
Do you think Eddie had to learn mime in the same way that Jim had to learn CIA torture endurance for The Grinch?
Okay. Peek behind the curtain. It's been over a week since I've watched this movie. It was the last movie I had watched though for over a week, so it should be.
He has to like do a scene when he's like showing off. He's like, look, I can do all these mime things, and he's like in the box and he's pulling the rope. And why am I gonna reference things if you're not?
I remember William Shatner's in this. And he had to jump on the car, and then he was like saying, "Oh, you don't jump on the car this way because you'll scratch the hood."
No, that's a different scene.
That's a different scene?
Yeah, so there's him William Shatner teaching them how to jump on a car, and then Robert De Niro has to learn that to get off the car right before it explodes. But Eddie Murphy slides across the car, and and then De Niro's like, you know why real cops don't do that? Because it scratches the paint. You got to remember this movie, Joe. This is important shit we're doing here, Joe.
You fucking asshole.
And you've seen this twice.
I saw it twice. The first time was over 20 years ago.
And it didn't last in there? You didn't want to give it a little rent space in your head?
No, my VHS copy that I bought from the Walmart rack in 2002 was like, I guess I will just dump this with the rest of my VHSs after 2004.
Well, do you remember that the cameraman is that writer guy from 30 Rock? Do you remember that?
The writer guy from 30 Rock. Are we talking about Judah Friedlander?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I do remember him. He made a small impression on me.
He was there.
Because he's a very, like when you see him, it activates something and you're like, oh, I know that guy is a guy.
Yes.
That's someone I should look at.
And do you remember who else is in this movie, Joe?
I just wanted to confirm though, really quick, that it is in fact Will Smith that did produce this movie. Why?
Yeah, that I don't know.
Oh, you know what?
What?
I don't know. But was Warner Brothers part of the Men in Black? Is that Men in Black?
Yeah, I believe so. Mm-hmm.
Because this is Eddie's first Warner Brothers movie.
You think Will maybe brought Eddie into the fold?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Who else is in this movie? Tell me.
Who else is in this movie? The network executive. That guy is one of the lawyers from that canceled TV sitcom I was just watching, AUSA. All 8 episodes. That makes 2 people in a row, Joe, in our podcast that were in AUSA.
That's really funny. Such a weird coincidence.
There was an all-star cast assembled for the show nobody wanted to watch.
Yeah,
Here's the deal, right? You said it was bad, and then we start off, and Eddie Murphy is doing...
It is bad! Don't tell me it's not!
Hold on. Eddie Murphy is doing that audition for the wife from Family Guy, and I am like, oh, we're gonna get one of these movies?
I didn't know Alex Borstein was the wife from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
We're gonna get one of these movies where he's gonna get a police detective role, and then he's gotta go ride along with De Niro, and De Niro doesn't want it. But then it turns out he's a cop too, and we get obviously the plot that we got. So I think
the plot we obviously got. You're like, that's what we were handed. But plot.
I think this slightly fresher take on that old sitcom staple or old cop procedural staple, I think that helped be like, oh, okay, this is going to be at least a little different than I expected. And then we did, obviously, that reality TV thing.
All right. Here we go. I got some stuff for you. All
Okay.
right. There was a scene that was filmed but cut out to better explain how Mitch could take on Trey as his new partner. In the beginning of the film, Mitch goes on an undercover sting with another cop. That was Mitch's partner. He was wounded during the shootout with Lazy Boy. In a scene that followed, Mitch is visiting his partner in the hospital who was in recovery and contemplating retirement. Why was that cut? To move it faster?
Probably. I mean, I didn't miss it. I wasn't like, oh, I really need to know about the logistical tape for how this... No, the whole premise is so ridiculous. Don't look under the hood. Just draw as little attention to it as possible, and it's fine.
Despite the movie's title, premium cable broadcast rights to the movie were originally not owned by Showtime, but by HBO, under the same ownership as Warner Brothers. That's funny.
Yeah, I was wondering too. I'm like, did Showtime like run this heavily at the time and then like have a lot of bumps of Eddie going, it's Showtime, and then like you market it that way? But HBO was like, no, we're not helping out the competition. All right, well, do you want to know how this movie's old, Joe?
Tell me.
All right, Johnny Cochran is a relevant reference. You can make jokes about him and your audience will know what you're talking about. Diagnosis murder is a role a young person would have on their resume as an actor. Couldn't really say that nowadays.
Diagnosis murder. Wow. That's the Hold Up Dick Van Dyke Show with his son. Wow, 93 to 2001. Never forget.
Can't stop Dick.
Wow. Moving on.
Yes, the police want more cameras around them while they're arresting people. They don't certainly want that anymore. They're not a fan.
I don't think they wanted it back 10 years before this either.
Wesley Snipes is an in-demand actor. People really want him in all their movies.
I don't know. Does that joke still play? Because when did he get arrested for the tax evasion? Because he definitely disappeared from movies around this time. So.
Yeah. Well, you know, it takes.
I'm looking up his career right now. Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Ford Snipes the third.
Yeah. I don't know.
How's this movie old? People are using *69. You gotta use *69 to figure out who called you. I don't know if any people born past 2005 would even have heard of that.
Well, 2002 was actually a pretty down year for... I mean, he had Blade 2 at least. Wesley Snipes was in a direct-to-video release of Liberty Stand Still. He had a limited release of another movie called Zigzag. Then he has Big Blade 2 with Del Toro. Yep, so that's something. And then Undisputed with Ving Rhames. All right. Oh, a Walter Hill movie. Oh, that's fun.
All right, how else is this movie old? Well, cameras are shooting on DV tapes. Not a very efficient way to shoot these days. You wouldn't want to do that. And lastly, multiple songs from the movie are by Shaggy.
Oh, we love Shaggy.
And I looked at the credits. He wrote none of them. None of those songs were written by Shaggy, only performed by him.
That's right. He said it wasn't me. He didn't write those songs.
He let us know. Overall, I would say if I had to describe this movie in a single sentence, I would say yet another Eddie Murphy cop movie where it doesn't know if it's a comedy or not.
He's got a lot of those.
A surprising amount of them, yes.
This is the second movie Robert Niro and Rene Russo worked on at this point, because they would later go to work on a Nancy Meyers movie.
Sounds like they would do that first.
Their first movie,
okay.
The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Don't you love it?
What? Really? He's in that?
De Niro? Absolutely.
Wow. We should have done that for the Whoopi season.
He plays the fearless leader, and she plays Natasha. And Jason Alexander is Boris. I mean, come on. The trifecta.
Really? I really thought that was Danny DeVito.
You thought that was Danny DeVito? You thought Jason Alexander was Danny DeVito?
Yes, I did. Short, pudgy, balding guy? Yeah, that was a fair thing for 9-year-old Patrick to make.
There is a big difference. I would say I would 100 out of 100 times take Danny DeVito.
Yeah. I don't mind Jason Alexander there.
I don't mind him either, but if we're talking the king, then I'm taking DeVito.
He just, I don't know how the casting agents, that wasn't their very first thought. I guess because Seinfeld was so big at that time, and Danny DeVito maybe wanted to focus more on directing or whatever in the late 90s.
Danny DeVito was hot stuff
Still?
At that point. He was like, do not bother me with your Rocky and Bullwinkle movie. That has Whoopi in it.
That's what I said, Joe. I said we should have done that for the Whoopi season.
Oh, I didn't hear you. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Well, then you... Okay. All right, well, let's take a little break from Showtime, mostly because we don't want you all to realize we don't have much more to say about it.
Let me tell you the budget, though, before we take a break.
All right. What do you got for me?
Can you believe this movie has an $85 million budget?
I do.
I can't. That's crazy.
Eddie's taking a lot of money. Robert's taking a lot of money. You got some set pieces in there. Need a lot of money.
What was De Niro's last $100 million grossing movie?
Meet the Parents?
Fuck. Okay. Shutting up. Forgot. I just watched that this year, and I told you I'm only watching De Niro comedies. This one really skirts the line on that one. So, all right. So go on. Oh, and so yeah, budget 85, made 77. I can't believe it made that much money because no one talked about it. This thing was
people went, got burned, and then stopped going. It makes sense to me. Big news, Joe. Big news.
Big news.
Because we got a Sandler watch.
Oh, what?
Sandler watch.
Have you seen any trailers for Happy Gilmore 2 yet?
I have. Underwhelming.
I recommend you not. Because here's why. Last Thursday, I went and saw a test screening for Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
And I'm not allowed to say too much, so I'm trying to be very careful here. But I will say, to fully enjoy the movie, watch as little about it as possible beforehand.
Okay. Well, I mean, I saw the trailer like a month ago, and I don't remember much from it, but...
So don't stay away from all of it. Just watch it when it comes out.
Okay.
I will say I went to see Sinners first because I was going all the way out.
What a day.
I know. I was going all the way out to this theater in the middle of nowhere. The same theater I went and did the Leo test screening. They gave me 2 passes then, and I'm just never out there. So I'm like, all right, well, I want to see Sinners. I'll just go early to beat the traffic. And then when the movie gets out, I'll get in line and have like an hour head start. Made sense to me. I get out of line. Credits of Sinners go on for a long time because they keep adding stuff in the middle of it. So I'm really out 45 minutes beforehand. 45 minutes before your people were supposed to start getting in line, line's already like 200 people long. I'm like, uh-oh. Should I even bother staying? Well, I do because of my journalistic integrity. I see people come up in some Boston Bruins jerseys, and I go, oh, look at some other Bostonians are here. And then it suddenly clicks on me, oh, no, that's what he wears in the movie. Silly me.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, on the back, there was this couple, this guy and this woman. And sure enough, on the back, it says Gilmore. It's number 18. So they really went for it. Big fans. I was annoyingly sat next to this really, really loud, towny sounding lady. I don't know if she was from Boston, but it sounded almost like it, and would talk incessantly during the movie. Like all those annoying, just like she'd be like, oh, I think this is going to happen as, or like, oh, it's great. What a great. I'm like, shut up, lady. I'm watching the movie. So I didn't like my seating there, but nothing I could do about it. And then they kept me afterwards. I was like one of 40 people they kept.
They just must know you.
To probe deeper. Well, I have to lie because they're always asked like, you're not in the movie business, are you? And I went, nope. And I don't have a podcast about Adam Sandler either. Don't worry about that. I will tell you, a lot of people there, a lot of Happy Gilmore fans, big golf fans. Big golf fans.
Weird, but okay.
Also, a fun bonus. Who was there? Adam Sandler's wife.
Wait, the Sandman?
Adam Sandler's wife.
Oh, wife. Okay, well, Jackie, of course.
Joe, I was like 10 feet away from Adam Sandler's wife. That's not a big deal? This is a big
Jackie.
deal.
Well, you know how he treats her in his movies. Not really a big deal.
All right. Well, she wanted to hear what we all had to say. They set up cameras on us and microphones. And I had some things when I did the Leo stuff. And I'm like, here's the stuff you keep. Here's the stuff you get rid of. They got rid of all the stuff I said to keep. And they added more stuff I said to get rid of. Hopefully they don't do that with Happy Gilmore 2. But I did fight the good fight. I fought the good fight,
I can't believe
Joe.
you're influencing more Sandler movies day by day.
I mean,
love it.
We'll see. It didn't work last time, so.
Didn't work last time.
I can't say any more. I'd love to tell you my thoughts on it and what some of the other crowds thought of it, but we will have to wait. But I will say, a warning to everybody out there, try to avoid any info as much as possible. Just go in blind. It'll make the experience much better.
All right, well, I won't watch any more trailers.
Some other news, Joe. We're going to do a big news dump day here to fill our time. Here's an article from the New York Post by Kidspot. That can't really be the writer's name. Kidspot? That sounds wrong.
Kid Spot?
Kid Spot.
Never heard of it.
That seems to be like the writer.
Oh, okay.
You know, like a Bill Smith. By Bill Smith. This says by Kid Spot. All right. Parents are defending teens destroying Minecraft theaters. Get over it. As we know, people have been making a big fuss for the memes at movie theaters when this chicken jockey comes on.
Chickens.
And now parents are like, guys, of course kids are going to do that. Is that behavior you believe in, Joe? Would you, if your kid did that, you'd be like, movie theaters, get over yourselves.
No, I would be like, we will take a very long break before we come back to the movie theater.
Yeah, here's what one parent says when people were complaining about it. She says, "It's not Schindler's List, people. It's a kids movie. Get over it."
How is that the go-to still? How is that the go-to still 30 plus years later?
So read one reaction on social media to a post complaining about the behavior of viewers during a screening of a Minecraft movie. But it's not just that person, it's so many people minimizing the outright vandalism and destruction left behind when the movie is over. It's excused in the name of boys will be boys, and it's a kid movie, and they're just having fun. Are you kidding me? Have we learned nothing from the recent adolescence phenomenon? I don't know what that means, so I'll skip that.
Jesus. The adolescence phenomenon.
So the writer then says, the writer apparently named Kid Spot, as a mom of an almost 18-year-old who's cared more about kindness and respect than school grades, the scenes of the chaos caused in cinema have been heartbreaking. Understandable, and I don't even have children. I can only imagine what it's like to be a cleaner after a session and be confronted with images like this. It's rude, disrespectful, inconsiderate, and yes, arrogant to think your excitement in a movie theater should be expressed by leaving a trail of destruction in your wake. And then they have some photos of what it looks like, and my goodness, I don't know how somebody looks like they left a shoe behind. How did that happen?
Someone vomited. I saw a vomit in one of the screenings.
Forget about punishing kids or young adults for this. That ship has sailed. A more useful topic to consider is how entitled they are to feel this behavior is acceptable, that they matter more than others. And then they bring up the adolescence thing again. Is this a show or a movie or something? Oh, yeah, it's a Netflix show. All right. Themes of male behavior, entitlement, self-loathing. Okay. But the reaction to the Minecraft cinema chaos shows that many of us still think it's just young people testing boundaries, and why can't many of us see that it's so much more than that? That these young people could turn out to cause more trouble for society later on. A woman who complained about this behavior, was called a Karen online and told she should lower her expectations.
Rude.
And that she should be cooler about this as a member of Gen X. Good Lord.
Be cool.
Why is the reaction instead not, who the fuck do these kids think they are? Why are not more people outraged by this lack of humanity?
This is sad.
I can tell you that as a single mom on a single income, again, named Kid Spot, I guess, I would be appalled if my son took my money to buy popcorn and threw it on the dirty cinema floor and soaked it with soda, also bought with money.
Popcorn is expensive.
But I can also tell you that he wouldn't do that because he's been raised to be respectful of what he has. And also my kid's reaction to viral TikTok trend moviegoers is revealing when he says, who would waste popcorn like that? You know what? My sentiments exactly, the writer goes on. To me, that leads to the scariest part of this. Those kids are not thinking of popcorn or their parents or anyone else at all. I'm like, all right, the kids are being annoying. Like, I get that. I wish they wouldn't. But now parents saying like, yeah, it's fine. That annoys me. Because now they're going to keep being annoying.
Yeah, no excuses. That behavior is awful.
All right, you ready for our favorite punching bag? No, sorry. It's not Zaslav. The other guy, Netflix CEO
Zaslav.
Ted Sarandos.
Oh, yes, we love this fucker.
This is from Variety by a guy with a real-sounding name, Ethan Schanfeld. All right, headline says, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos says movie theater model is outdated. Most of the country cannot walk to the multiplex. Good thing that most people don't walk where they're going these days anyway.
Wait, is that your editorial?
That's my editorial. That's me. Variety wishes they could be so catty.
All right. Yes.
Ted Sarandos' latest interview started with a softball question. Have you destroyed Hollywood? A great way to start an interview. Good work.
Not intentionally.
And then you know what his response is? No, we're saving Hollywood, the Netflix co-CEO said with a smile. On Wednesday in New York, Sarandos engaged in a brief discussion with Time magazine editor-in-chief Sam Jacobs at the Time 100 Summit. that you jump right off into the problems plaguing Hollywood, of which there are many, admittedly. That's mine. And why Netflix is succeeding amidst production decreases. Well, they actually might not be, but they don't have to tell us that, and they could just lie, so I don't know why you didn't want to question that in your interview, but okay. Netflix is a very consumer-focused company, Sarandos says. We do care that we deliver you the program to you in a way you want to watch it, which is by not fully paying attention to it while you're on your cell phone or doing
Like
laundry.
this. This is how I watch Netflix things.
Yeah. Yes, and he's scrolling through his phone, audience, because you can't see that.
Thank you.
This is an audio medium. All right, the article goes on to say, using the struggling box office model as an example, Sarandos added, what does that say? What is the consumer trying to tell us? That they'd like to watch a movie at home, thank you. The studios and theaters are duking it out trying to preserve this 45-day window that is completely out of step with the consumer experience of just loving a movie. Here's why I'm not surprised he didn't go to the obvious answer. Well, maybe they're not making interesting movies anymore. And here's why he doesn't bring that up. Because he knows he's not making interesting movies either. They're all on the same playing field by making crap, forgettable crap. So why would he bring that up? And then, yes, you're going to bring up...
Oh, what do you think I'm going to bring up?
I think you're going to bring up Sinners.
Sinners with its 5% drop from last weekend. Just make movies that people want to see.
But here's the bigger thing about Sinners, and I sort of tongue-in-cheek said this in my Letterboxd review, is you have a movie about vampires where the vampires don't show up for an hour. Your cast is mostly minority, and there are several musical numbers in your movie. Like, this is a great movie to think, well, why would anyone want to see that? And somehow it's become even more popular than you expected. It's become more popular than all the other crap you're showing. Come on, guys. And you're trying to tell us it didn't make money? You little fuckers.
Yeah, the other point is that he is so wrong because I think it's the number 2 in the box office this weekend. Did you see what number 2 was?
Oh, yeah. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
Star Wars Episode 3, a movie that's been free on Disney Plus for like 7 or 8 years now.
The movie's free. It's 20 years old. It's actually not even very good.
It's not very good. It's not very good.
People went out of their way to go see a bad Star Wars movie because they would rather see a bad Star Wars movie in the cinema than no Star Wars movie in the cinema at all. Oh, here's what I'll tell you, Joe, and it warmed my heart because Netflix made Happy Gilmore 2. Here's what somebody said. They said, what did you like about the movie? What did you like about watching the movie? And some God bless his heart, some guy said that we actually got to see Sandler in a movie theater again.
Oh, jeez.
He's like, I want Netflix to know, put your movies in the theater. We want to see Sandler in the theater again. What's it been, 10 years?
No, Uncut Gems.
That's right, Uncut Gems. But that's what he said.
That was 5 years ago.
I'm just telling you what the man said. I made sure to bring that back. I thought that would make you happy, Joe.
Yeah, well, I mean, a little off topic, but it was on topic maybe about 10 minutes ago. So, do you think there's any chance that we can get into a preview screening of the new Sandler-Clooney
I have
Netflix
no
movie?
idea. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know when these things happen.
We gotta find out. You've hit the last 2.
Yeah, but Grant's the one who sends them to me, so we won't know until Grant knows. All right, here we go, though. Here we go.
Okay.
He goes on. He says, we have these bespoke releases, referring to things like Knives Out, or the Glass Onion thing, or Amelia Perez, right? We have to do some qualifications for the Oscars. They have to run for a little bit. It helps with the press cycle for a little bit. But I've tried to encourage every director we work with to focus on the consumer, focus on the fans, which is to say they don't want to go to the theater. That doesn't sound right. Make a movie that they love, and they will reward you. Sarandos also noted that we're in a period of transition. Folks that grew up thinking, I want to make a movie on a gigantic screen and have strangers watch them, and to have them play in the theater for 2 months and people cry and sold-out shows, it's an outdated concept. I mean, sold-out shows, certainly. That's a lot harder to do. At least in my theater, which has 30 screens, there's always something for you to watch. But I don't know. I went to that Black Panther 2 stupid thing, and that theater was just about sold out. It was quite annoying. Ask specifically if the desire of filmmakers wanting to make movies for movie theaters for the communal experience is an outmoded idea, Sarandos said. I think it is for most people. Not everybody. If you're fortunate living in Manhattan, you can walk to the multiplex and see a movie. I don't understand why that's nobody likes walking even when things are close by. I've seen people drive to the park near me, and that's 2 blocks away.
Sad.
Sarandos insisted that he loves movie theaters, but of course their decline does not bother him. He would say he'd be bothered if people stopped making great movies. Like Red Notice. We need more Red Notices, Ted Sarandos says. Bird Box.
We need more Red Notices. We need more Adam Project.
Hot Frosty.
Hey, I'll take one more Hot Frosty.
He warned Hollywood not to get trapped behind wanting audiences to see movies in theaters because that's how the film industry wants audiences to watch them. Instead, for the sake of entertainment, Hollywood should adapt to the way in which audiences want to watch movies. I don't know why we don't want to go to the theater. You know what we want? We want the great movies you keep promising us, Ted Sarandos. Do you know what a great movie is? Would you have made Sinners? My guess is no.
I will say, release David Fincher from his tomb. Get him out of Netflix. Oh, you gave Hot Frosty 1 star. Rude.
Well, it's not good, and that's okay.
Netflix is far less annoying when they're self-aware that they make crap. Rude. What?
It's true.
Of course I was the one that left the comment. Well, I guess there's no better time to watch. You watched it in March.
It just kind of happened. I didn't know about it beforehand, so... and then lastly, Joe, we got a little Drew Carey musical licensing issues.
Oh, hell yeah. Give me that Drew Carey drop.
Moon over Parma, bring my love to me tonight. Guide her to Eastlake.
There's a whole episode they just cut out because that episode is like a clip show. They have like a story about a radio station going out of business, and then Oswald goes in and takes over.
Really music heavy. I had no idea.
Yeah, and then plays a bunch of music from their past dance numbers. They have so many musical numbers in this show, they did a whole clip show about them. There's an episode where the 3 of them, all 3 men, Drew, Oswald, Lewis, are trying to date. They're dating the same lady, but they don't realize it. And they go to Kate for some advice, and she's like, oh, I had a great date. He started singing a Lionel Richie song to me. I swooned. So they swing like 3 times, once, twice, 3 times a lady. They each sing that to him, so it gets creepier and creepier for her. Like, why are you all doing the same routine? But they can't have them singing that song, apparently. So we just awkwardly kind of cut around that whole bit, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. There's an episode where Drew Carey, they want to buy Drew Carey's property and really his whole neighborhood to build a big mall there. The company he works for. They're going to be the big anchor store of this new mall. Drew agrees to it. They take half his house to move it to the lake. He doesn't want to sell it, but they're going to move his house to a better neighborhood, so he's okay with that. They take half his house, but it turns out they're not moving it to the place they said. They're moving it to a really crappy place. So he sort of camps out in his house, and then Mimi has to come to make him leave, so she plays the song Panama over and over again, originally.
Oh.
Guess what they don't get to play?
Panama?
They don't get to play Panama, and yet they have many jokes afterwards referencing how much Panama was being played, which makes no sense, because it's just some generic rock song being played now.
This is a bummer. How do you get through this?
Also in that episode, after he finds out that he's not getting moved to the same spot, he gets really angry and starts like shouting on the loudspeaker at his work, being like, hey, customers, beware, Wimford Louder, they're really crooks. And then some like music plays over to blare him out. It's just like elevator music. But for some reason, they didn't have the rights to this generic elevator music that I had just assumed they wrote themselves. I don't know why you needed to source this very replaceable elevator music. But now we got new elevator music. And yet, when they do the tag at the end of that episode and Ryan Stiles is doing his beer aerobics class, the workout music is the same. So they did ride or license properly or whatever. I don't know. So there you go.
Music is so strange.
A lot of odd stuff going on in the Drew Carey show.
Yeah.
Those rights. Yep, making a lot of editing trouble for us. Very unfortunate.
Terrible.
All right, got any thoughts on Showtime? Anything you want to get out there for the world?
Skip it.
Showtime, much like the Majestic, not great, but watchable once.
Not watchable.
Joe's problem is he had to watch it twice. That's the issue.
I slip off the screen.
Yeah, but you get the guy from AUSA, Joe.
Sure. I'm telling you, as soon as these movies start hitting an hour 40, you're going to be in the same place I am.
You get all those Shaggy songs, man. You don't...
Yes, Shaggy.
It's like watching a Shaggy album.
It's like watching a Shaggy album. That'll be your review.
They should have put that on the poster. Is that what does Ebert say? Ebert got anything on this movie?
Ebert didn't even fucking care about this movie enough to talk about it.
Wow. All right. Well, I guess that says everything you need to know.
And he loves Eddie. He loves Jim and the Majestic, too. Remember that shit? That was fucking nuts.
It's old-timey. That makes sense to me.
Sure.
He's the Andy Rooney of movie reviewers.
Yeah. Just don't watch Showtime. It's not good.
All right. Why does Eddie Murphy do this movie? Well, I guess because he wants to play actors and donkeys this millennium. I don't know.
He's establishing a relationship with Warner Brothers. There you go.
Yeah, right. He's got a new hookup. With that budget of $85 million, I bet a significant chunk went to him.
Sure, he's getting paid a handsome sum.
Maybe he wants to, see what Robert De Niro's up to and be like, hey, Robert, what's it like to be a serious actor?
Yeah, you're right. De Niro had a hit in Meet the Parents.
Yeah,
Do you really want to know what De Niro was doing at this point, though? Or are we going to wrap this up?
Well, do you think you can do this in a minute?
Let me give you the quick De Niro 2000.
Shuttle through them.
De Niro from 2000 to 2002. I'll give you that right now. 2000, he had The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, Men of Honor, and Meet the Parents. The trifecta. 2001, he's working on 15 Minutes and The Score. Don't forget, The Score, the movie that was 3 generations of acting, Marlon Brando, Robert De Niro, and Edward Norton. I am so curious about this movie. Very weird. Have you seen it?
Nope. I have not heard of either of those movies from 2001.
Then 2002. De Niro is like, I'm going to make Showtime. I'm going to make City by the Sea. And I'm going to make Analyze That. Wow. He's in a real wilderness period.
I mean, you'd already analyzed this, so you might as well see what's going on with that.
Yeah, that was 99. That was the year before.
I would say also a hit.
That was a big hit. Analyze This made, let's see, let me tell you how much Analyze This made. So yeah, he's in comedy mode. Yeah, off a $30 million budget, made $176. Okay, so he's like, all right, this is my new lane. I'm the funny guy, because Meet the Parents made $330 million. No wonder why they made 2 sequels. Fuck, that's crazy.
You know, people couldn't watch the multiplexes back then either, Ted Sarandos. I hate to break it to you.
But Analyze That, let's see, off a $60 million budget. So it went up by $30 million and it made 55. It made so much less. People were like, we're good.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
Yeah, it was already analyzed. We're good.
We've already got The Sopranos. Yeah, wow. This motherfucker just starts working. Working in his 50s and 60s. He is shooting them out.
Maybe he got robbed by his accountant like Pacino.
You think so?
I don't know. Keep working this much.
You know that? Is that a fact?
No, I said maybe. Perhaps you forgot the maybe in my statement.
Well, how could we forget? In 2004, he made Godsend, Shark Tale, Meet the Fockers, and The Bridge of San Luis Rey, which I have never fucking heard of. Holy shit. Did you know
Nope.
De Niro and Keitel re-teamed for this?
Nope.
And it was... No one talked about it. Budget of 24, made 1. Made $1 million.
Made $1? Oh, $1 million.
$1 million. Wow. All right.
Okay, well, you've been warned, everybody. Showtime.
This movie doesn't look fucking real.
What, Showtime? We just watched it, Joe.
I'm gonna send you this, and you're gonna be like, okay. Yeah. Last looks on the Showtimes.
I mean, we already did that part, Joe.
We already did that. All right. See you later, guys.
I'd like to thank Let Veterans who live for minding those audio boards, keeping us sound so slippery smooth. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Raccoona Matata. It means no worries about pest. And I'd like to thank Joe Vekeman for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
And I am your host, Patrick Skillet. You can find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar sounding name. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night. So we're going to figure this out again because I can only hear you a little bit. My volume is maxed.
I recorded this Simpsons episode with Lawrence, and he could hear me fine. So
Yeah, the Simpsons one. I started listening to it last night.
Yeah. So I'm confused why you have trouble, but he does not.
Probably my headphone, so don't worry about it. But I would like to hear what you're saying.
All right, what about now? Nothing still.
Keep talking.
I'm talking.
Yeah, I can hear you fine now. I don't know, but I need to see your face. I like your face.
Well, you're not leaving me much choice, Joe. If you can't hear us, sort of the dynamic of our podcast doesn't matter.
I know that, but I need your face. I need to react off your face.
I've grown accustomed to
Showtime.
your face. Remember that episode?
It's 2002 Tom Day joint. Okay, what is this?
What is what? The movie Showtime.
Top 10 most searched reality movies on streaming today.
What's a reality movie?
It's the number 8. How is that possible? Let me give you... Hold up. Were we recording? Number 1 most searched reality movie on streaming today. The Truman Show. All right. Okay. We covered it.
Well, I'm confused at what the title reality movie means, Joe.
Good question. But I mean, stay with me here.
Okay.
I haven't seen a couple of these coming up, so if you have, let me know what you think on their reality movie plot-wise. Wrong Turn 2, Dead End. That is the second most searched reality movie on streaming today.
Is that a found footage movie?
I guess so. Perhaps. I've never seen it.
I didn't think
Don't
the
know what it
first
is.
one was, so it seems odd you do that.
The next one, Grave Encounters from 2011. I don't even know. I've never heard of this movie. How is this?
That movie I do know, actually. That's kind of bigger. That's bigger in the found footage circuits.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Moving on then. I'm wrong. I'm stupid.
No.
Number 4, This Is Your Death from 2017.
Yeah, these are found footage. Truman Show doesn't count.
The number 5th one, The Contestant from 2023.
I don't know what that is. And that just came out.
Ed TV, number 6 from 1999. That's one I've heard of. That's a good movie. Maybe Ron Howard's second best movie behind the Grinch.
Yes, we discussed that.
I'm being so rude to like actually good movies that he made.
Nah, it's okay.
7, Pride. Part of the 7 Deadly Sins story.
The prequel to Pride and Prejudice. When Pride met Prejudice.
And then we have 8, Showtime. Okay. It's just crazy because no one talks about this movie, but then there's these movies that I'm like, I've never even heard of this movie. 9 is Funhouse from 2019, whatever that is. And then number 10. This makes me happy that people are actually searching for this movie. It is called Real Life, directed by Albert Brooks from 1979. Those are the top 10 movies based on top 10 most searched reality movies on streaming today. There you go.
Still uncertain what reality movie means, but if found footage seems to be wrapped into that, I am surprised.
Blair Witch.
Yeah, like there are better found footage, but Grave Encounters bills itself as like a TV show, so like maybe it's about that, like a reality TV show centered movie. Then it could make sense, right? Because the Truman Show's a reality quote unquote show, and Showtime's about them making a reality show. Mm-hmm. So now, thus, they're called reality movies, even though these all have scripts. You had an actual reality show movie, the Real World, Cancun. It was like billed as like The Lost. It was too raunchy to show on TV, so they had to make it into a movie.
So I'll say this for the pod. Let's go. Let's just start this thing up. I got so much to talk about. Tom Day.
Yeah, sure. Let me drink my water.